Hello. So today's video is coming to you from the grass where I'm being preened. Oof, if I can just move. Here we go. Yes, by the beautiful Kim, who is probably the star preener that we have here. And then in front of me I have, let's see, Lucy, Cece. We have, who's that? We've got Gretel and Kaiho coming to the camera. And you're not going to let anyone else be seen. And Dorothy. And then we've got Queen Lara. And I can't tell from the fluffy butt who that is. Kaiho's coming right up to me, which he likes to do. So, a little bit of a different angle today. I am talking to you today about money. And in this case, money as in, do we pay for the animals that we rescue? And this is a question that I got on Facebook, and I've had it quite a few times in the past, and it's fair enough because that is one way to rescue animals. You can contact farmers or sometimes even slaughterhouses and ask to pay some amount of money. It could be a very small amount to rescue the animal. There are some complications that come with it in that you're effectively putting money back into the system. So let's say we rescued 200 hens from a farm where they were going to be slaughtered. Excuse me. Then if we paid them, it could be say $2 per hen, $400. That money would likely go back into the business, into the egg business, and could be used as part payment towards buying new hens to put into that horrible system, or anything else really. But saying that, whilst we don't buy the animals, I do understand rescues that do. So I put myself in the position of the animal, and I think if I were an animal, like these guys who are giving me a preen, and I was in a battery cage, I want to be saved. I just want to be saved. Or even in a free range farm and I'm about to go to slaughter. Like, the thing that's important is being saved, not how you are saved. And so I understand, like, getting them out by any means necessary. And there could be a situation which is an emergency situation, where I completely change that I don't pay for animals to rescue them. If that's what it takes in that situation, I feel like I'm doing the most ethical thing and the best thing for those animals. Like, imagine if you were driving past someone, and let's say you were driving past a slaughterhouse entrance, and it was one of the ones like Picton that does, they'll kill just one or two animals, and you see someone coming in with one sheep, and they wait at the gates, and it's a vigil, and you said to them, can we do anything? Is there any way we can save this sheep? Will you spare this sheep's life? And they say no. And you kind of are pleading with them. And then they say, but if you give me $100, I'll give it to you. In that situation, how hard would it be to say no? Like, how many of us are going to say, no, send us through, even though we know that it's not right, really, for the money to go back into what they'll probably do, buying meat or exploiting other animals. Like, when that animal is in front of you and all you want to do is save them, it's the animal's life that is the thing you're really caring about, not like this big, deep, ethical dilemma. So that's why I don't judge rescues that do it, and I'm not ruling it out. But for us at the Hen Rescue and the way we rescue, we do not buy them. And I think it's because we don't have to as well. Like, there's so many ways, there's so many animals that are exploited, unfortunately. Lucy's pecking the other side of the camera. That's why we're wobbling. Wobble, wobble. Let me show you. Here we go. Turn around. Hello. Look at this beautiful girl. So Lucy was stray. She was found stray. And her wings were cut really short. So someone had obviously tried her to stop her flying away. Look at her beautiful colours. Oh my goodness. And then we've got Cece, little Miss Noisy Pants. Now she's one of the hardest hens I've ever had to rescue. Because she was like pretty much like a wild chicken. Kaiho, who we know and love, rescued from a battery cage. And then we've got Kim. Oh, you beauty. You're a beauty. Who was rescued from a horrific free-range farm. Oh, who's that? Jen. Jen on my leg. Honestly, lying in the grass with chickens is one of the most beautiful things. Not everybody gets it. Like, some people want to grab at them, want to cuddle them, like pick them up. That's not how you bond with chickens. There might be exceptions. Definitely. We have Peanut, who loves cuddles in Charlize Cares For. Excuse me, that's my hair. Shouldn't be in your mouth. But usually most chickens, they love it when you sit with them and they get to come to you and they can choose how they interact. Oh. So it really is a beautiful, this is the kind of thing I want people to be able to do in the Hen Haven. Just be able to lie down and enjoy being with the animals and be dug on. But yes, there's a number of ways where you can rescue animals without paying for them, whether it's through a cruelty investigation, whether they're surrendered, whether you just negotiate with someone who does want you to buy them and try and really appeal to their ethical side, even though it might be hard to reach. There's also the times when they do a clear out of a shed and there might be, as we've discussed in other videos, like 200,000 or so hens, and it's awful and hideous. Fly on me. But some hens, because they're grabbing, say, probably 5 hens in each hand, and they're ripping them from the cages. They're pulling at my hair now. Look, I'm getting all this attention. Yes, sometimes they're grabbing so many, they're breaking wings and legs sometimes in the process, because these hens are very calcium deficient and they will drop some. And so in those situations, those hens are usually, workers will either come, workers, that's lovely, thank you. Wow, what a good preening. Workers will either come and do something awful, like break their necks, which is just hideous and a really slow and horrible, painful way to die, or they leave them to starve. So, hello, sweetheart. Hello, that's Frida, by the way. She's one of our oldest girls, and she fell off a slaughter truck. Which is another way we get them sometimes, where they literally fall off. But anyway, so if you imagine there's, say, 20 hens that have been dropped, and they're going to be either left to starve to death, or they're going to be killed. So sometimes we can go in and literally crawl on our hands and knees along the length of the shed, back and forth, and see whoever we can save and not leave anyone behind. Make sure we have checked every little bit. So there are ways, and of course covert liberation, and so at this point there's not a need to pay, and I think that's what we're comfortable with right now. So we want to direct money into the animal care, but if people are out there, other organisations that can save thousands of animals, and they can do that by putting money in, and they've kind of weighed out the pros and cons of that, then, you know, they should do what's best for them and for those animals. So yeah, that's kind of what we do not pay for them. The first rescue I ever did, Levi's looking at me, I'll show you. He's kind of wondering what I'm up to. Look, he's over there. What a gorgeous, handsome boy. He loves being told he's handsome. Who's so handsome? Who's handsome? Oh yes, are you going to put your hair up for us? Sometimes he sticks his hair up on his head. He just thinks I'm being weird. Yeah, in the very beginning when we did a rescue, we were asked for money by the farmer, and he said, "Oh, how will I afford to go on holiday if you don't give any money?" And this is after we had done the rescue. And I said to him, "But there's no holiday for the hens. Like, they live this and then they get killed." Anyway, it was during that time that it made me realize that these people are not really open to kind of negotiation as far as, I mean, saying that, we had Hope liberated, and she was liberated from a slaughterhouse. No money exchanged, but there was a vigil being held there, and she was surrendered. And I got a call from Sydney Bird Save, who were doing the vigil, to come and get her. And I cried when I was by that slaughter truck, because I was looking at the faces of all of these babies, these 6-week-old baby chickens about to be slaughtered with their blue eyes. And Hope was the one that got to live, just because that was the one the man grabbed and gave to us out of the tray when the others were about to be hung up and killed. It's a really weird world that we live in. Like, when I'm telling that story, I'm like, that's not, how can we do this to these animals? Like, as I told you, when I was driving back with Charlene, I couldn't believe that I was looking at these chicken trucks. Well, I do. Every nighttime rescue, we see chicken trucks full of chickens going to slaughter, or empty ones about to go and pick them up. And there's always this thing of like, oh, I've got one rescued hen in the car, or maybe 20 if it's a bigger rescue. And I'm so happy they're safe, like really concentrating on them, can't wait to get them home. And then there's a chicken truck with like at least, I don't know, 4,000 hens on, all going to be killed, whether egg laying or and you're like, whoa, this is a huge, huge issue. So as always, I just have to tell myself to keep thinking of moving forward, and not to get overwhelmed, and not to get too concerned, like if the fundraiser's not going at kind of the pace we would like, but instead to feel the gratitude for everyone who is supporting and donating in all the fundraisers. And that's why I'm doing these videos as well, to try and keep myself in that mindset. But anyway, I hope that cleared up the question of whether we pay for animals, and I will look forward to seeing you tomorrow.